If you're looking for a channel, keep it real and spitting facts. No need to look further. Gangsta emoji where it's at.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, keep it real.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, you can feel. If you looking for a channel, keep it real and spitting facts. No need to look further. Gangsta emoji where it's at.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, we keep it real.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, you can feel.
Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Lita, and I'm back with another video. So first things first, welcome back to the hottest YouTube channel on this planet, where we keep it gangster with our gangsters. So how y'all doing? Y'all alright? Y'all okay? Well, good then. If you new around this block, we ask that you go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends and family, and most importantly, subscribe. Subscribe. Become part of the family. And when you do become a part of the family, make sure you turn on your gangstification bells. Turn them on. So that way you can be the first one. Not the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, or the sixth, but the first one to get this hot sizzle as we drop it off in this YouTube streets, honey. But please, don't forget to make sure to like this video. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Either way, we thank you in advance for simply just watching. So the next part of this will be some clips from this article. And then after that, of course, you'll have my commentary. And it wouldn't be your girl, Miss Lita, if I didn't have some questions. So I hope you're ready.
Find out more about what happened when a Stockton police officer was forced to shoot and kill a 54-year-old woman on Tuesday. Police say that woman had knocked an officer down with her car. So here's video from the scene from overhead Life Copter 3. Investigators spent hours combing the area. KCRA 3's Kay Reseed spoke to the woman's family, who is looking for answers.
This is where Tracy Gaeta's life ended, at the end of Roberts and Rollerson roads. Investigators say she was shot dead by a Stockton police officer whose patrol car she backed into. Her family puts her life into focus.
She was caring. She's always been there for her grandkids, been there for me, been there for friends, family.
Life of the party, you know, not judgmental. She loved every aspect of life.
While her loved ones have a clear picture of who she was in life, her death has left them confounded.
She is not violent. She never tried to hurt the police, so I don't know where that came from. She didn't need to die like that. That is unfair.
Investigators say that afternoon, Gaeta struck a police car on Charterway and I-5 in Stockton. Then she drove off, running a red light. When another marked patrol car spotted her, the pursuit ended at this dead end. That's when investigators say Gaeta backed her car into the police cruiser, knocking the officer to the ground.
That does not sound like my mother to even interact with police officers. This is not her.
After the officer regained his footing, deputies say he fired his gun.
It doesn't make sense. I think there's a lot of stuff that are missing out of that story that we don't know.
The Sacramento grandmother's family does not know why she was in Stockton, and they can only assume what led up to her final moments.
She had a nervous breakdown. So I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but she was suffering from depression.
Tracy's death has left the family stunned. Her son, daughter, sisters, and nieces heartbroken.
People who have mental issues need to be handled in a different way, in a different manner.
Kay Reseed, KCRA 3 News.
KCRA looked through court records in San Joaquin, Stanislaus, and Sacramento counties and did not find anything on Gaeta. The sheriff's office tells us that this is still an active investigation.
A warning, what you're about to see is hard to watch.
54-year-old Tracy Gaeta was shot and killed by Stockton police February 22nd. Stockton police releasing multiple surveillance videos and body camera video showing the moment leading up to the shooting and when she was killed. This video shows an officer stopped at a red light when the driver of a gray car hit the officer's car before driving off. That prompted a pursuit, and police say Gaeta made a U-turn on the on-ramp of I-5. Surveillance video shows Gata driving down a one-way and blowing through a red light. The pursuit ends at Rollerson Road at a dead end. A Stockton canine officer pulls in behind her, and that's when this happens.
19 is ramming me. He's ramming me.
Copy.
16 seconds after the officer initially opened fire on Gata, the body camera video shows her vehicle moving forward. The officer opens fire again as Gata begins to drive. While attempting to turn her car around, the officer opened fire again. In total, about 30 gunshots can be heard in a span of about 32 seconds.
I feel like they wrongfully killed my mom. There were so many other ways they could have went about it.
Her daughter says Gata lived in Sacramento and she has no idea why she was in Stockton that day. She says her mom may have been experiencing a mental breakdown.
It just doesn't even seem right. My mother was scared and, she would never try to hurt anybody, harm anyone. So I think the officer, didn't need to use such excessive force and use his gun and shoot so many times. This video just clears up that, for me, that my mother was still innocent. She was still innocent. To me, that's what I see.
The Stockton Police Department says a multi-agency critical incident investigation is now underway, as well as an internal departmental use of force review.
Okay, so let's get into this. The first clip that we seen, it talked about when everything was actually happening in February, that the police were chasing after someone and it ended in the death. Later, we learned on that it was Tracy, who was 54 years of age. She was killed by a canine officer who was identified as Kyle Rivera, and that he had fired 24 shots into her car on February 22nd. Now, the actual body cam footage wasn't released until like 2 months later. So now the family is, highly upset and outraged because after watching that, they feel like it is overkill. And the police department is protecting Kyle Rivera and saying that it was basically a justifiable homicide based upon her actions. So that is where we're at right now in regards to the article. Now, it wouldn't be your girl, Miss Lita, if I didn't have some thoughts, some questions, and some opinions in regards to what happened. So we're about to get into that. Okay, so my first question is, why did it take almost 2 months, 2 months to release this body cam footage? Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me that it takes almost 2 months before you can release the body cam footage. Was there some type of alterations done to this footage? Because it was some skips. So then that's my next question. Why is it skips in this footage? Was there some alterations done to it? Was there some change up? Because this should be smooth as ice. It shouldn't be any type of skips in this footage. And it definitely shouldn't have taken 2 months for this body cam footage to be released. I don't get that. I don't understand that. That is mind-boggling. Then my next question is, why was 2 full clips unloaded on this car? 30 bullets in 32 seconds. 30 bullets in 32 seconds. Let's do this. Let's sit here for 30 seconds and let's see how long that is. That's 30 seconds. 30 seconds of unloading bullets into this car. So much so that this man had to reload his gun. He removed the empty clip and puts in another clip. 32 seconds. Over 30 bullets. That's obsessive. That is obsessive. If they can't see that shooting into a vehicle 30 times in 32 seconds is obsessive, something is very wrong. Something is very wrong. That is overkill. You have to shoot into a vehicle 30 times. 30 times in 32 seconds. If they don't think that's obsessive, please tell me what the meaning of obsessive is, please. I would love to know their definition if they don't think 30 bullets in 32 seconds is obsessive. That's mind-boggling to me. I would love to know the answer to that. And it is heard where he is saying on the body cam footage that the woman is going down a dead-end road. So my question is, why not block her in once she got to the end of the road instead of killing her and shooting into the vehicle 30 times? 30 times. I don't grasp that. I don't grasp that even if she did hit your vehicle, you could have waited until she got to the very end of the dead end and just blocked her in, where she couldn't move and she couldn't go and she couldn't do anything, instead of shooting into the vehicle 30 times. Then you're a canine officer. So you're not normally dealing with someone who does stuff like this. So why weren't you doing your canine duties instead of shooting into someone's vehicle 30 times in 32 seconds, unloading a clip and putting in a new clip? I want to know that.
I would probably put pretty high odds they're going to say it was a justified shooting, and I suppose you could justify it. On the other hand, it just seems like this was unnecessary as well.
Stuart Katz, an attorney with decades of experience working on police shooting cases, says it will be easier to justify the officer unloading the first magazine, but the second is questionable.
She's clearly trying to drive away at that point, in my mind, but she's not driving towards him at that point either. She's not backing up again. She's trying to get away.
So my next question is, what type of punishment is this officer facing for disregarding the police policy? Because in 2016, it was a nationally recognized standard prohibiting officers from firing at a moving vehicle. So what type of punishment is he going to get? The family hired an attorney, and the attorney had to say that, again, it is a violation of their policy. A policy that they put into place on August 4th of 2016. Again, firing should not be discharged at a stationary or moving vehicle. Now, the law does go on to say that the only thing that they can see in regards to firing at a moving vehicle is if a gun is used and they're firing back. But it clearly states that a vehicle is not classified as something that you shoot at. In fact, they talk about how shooting into a moving vehicle can cause more damage. More damage. So I would love to know, what kind of punishment is this officer going to get for disregarding the policy that they put into place? Not us, them. So now that they know that this 54-year-old woman had never been in trouble a day in her life, the whole entire time that she's been on earth, that she possibly had some type of mental break, my question is, would they have handled the situation differently if they had all of that information in the forefront? Or were they still concerned that this male, because they continue to say it's a male driving the car, was a threat. And this is the only way that they felt that they could resolve the problem. I definitely want to know, if they was faced with the same situation today, right now, would they have still unloaded 30 bullets, 2 clips, in 32 seconds into a vehicle? I would love to know that. Absolutely love to know that. Even after watching her hit the cop car at the light and driving off, it was almost if she was crying out for attention. Something had to have been going on. How should you handle something like that? How should you handle a mental health patient? Was she in some type of danger that we weren't aware of? Because again, she hits the cop vehicle. She doesn't hit anyone else's vehicle, but she hits the cop vehicle as if she was trying to get their attention, trying to make them follow her. And they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing other than call it in to let them know that their vehicle had been hit. But they didn't try to follow her. They didn't try to chase after her. They sat there at the light, let her turn, and just called it in. It wasn't until this other K-9 officer seen her and then decides to chase after her down a one-way street. And instead of blocking her in, he shoots at her 30 times. Mind-boggling. So now these police officers are supposed to pay great attention to detail. Now this is how much attention to detail that they paid. They kept saying it was a man. It was a man that hit the car. But it was a woman. And instead of following after her to see what was going on, to get information in regards to her hitting the vehicle, they sat there at the light and they did nothing, like I say, until the K-9 officer spotted her and then he followed her and asked her to get out. But he took her life by shooting into the vehicle 30 times. 30 times. So now my last question is, what type of mental health training does the police receive? Because they definitely need to be equipped with dealing with mental health patients or someone who's had a breakdown or someone who could be experiencing major side effects from medication. You do not know how people act in these situations until you're placed in them. But you do need to have training to know the signs. I'm your girl, Miss Alita, and that's all the questions that I have. Until next time, I'm out this thing. Peace.
Another day, another story. Keep it gangsta with gangsta Mosey. Keep it gangsta. Another day, another story. Keep it gangsta with